Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to the Explainer, everyone. Today we are unpacking a massive structural shift that's literally happening right under our noses. It's one of those things that subtly affects our daily routines, our wallets, and absolutely our long-term health. We're talking about the explosive evolution of the fitness industry. And as you'll see, that local gym you probably drive by every single day, well, it's transforming into something entirely different, something much bigger and way more essential. I am thrilled you're here to learn along with me, so let's get right into it. To really understand this shift, I want you to think about your own life for a second. We're all feeling the pinch of consumer budgeting pressures right now, right? I mean, inflation, rising costs of living, it's kind of on everyone's mind these days. So if you were forced to scale back your lifestyle today, if you had to tighten the belt and cut your budget, what goes first? What do you sacrifice? Keep that question in the back of your mind as we start looking at the numbers. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how consumer psychology has flipped. This data comes straight from some new economic research published by Empower. When Americans were asked where they'd actually cut their spending, 44% of respondents pointed to dining out. Another 36% pointed to travel. But here's the kicker. Only 23% said they would sacrifice their fitness memberships. Think about that for a second. This is a profound behavioral shift. People are literally saying, hey, I would rather give up my vacation or going out to a restaurant than give up my access to the gym. Section 1. The fitness spending boom. What we're witnessing here is the industry fundamentally graduating from being seen as a disposable luxury, something you just do if you have a little extra time and cash, into an absolute non-negotiable consumer investment. Actually, scratch that, it's more like a core life expense now. Just look at the sheer economic scale of this shift, $60 billion. According to those Empower findings, despite all those heavy consumer budgeting pressures we just talked about, Americans are projected to spend a massive $60 billion on fitness goals. So this isn't just some passing trend, it's a massive reallocation of personal wealth toward physical well-being. People are voting with their wallets, and they're definitely voting for their health. But why? Why are people suddenly willing to spend so much money on fitness, even when budgets are super tight? Well, that brings us to our next core concept.
Section 2. The Personal Health OS.
The Personal Health OS, or operating system, this is the definition you really need to know for sure. Gyms are no longer just these isolated rooms full of heavy metal plates and treadmills. Instead, they're acting as preventative healthcare pillars. They're blending traditional sweat sessions with advanced data diagnostics, sleep tracking, and even metabolic health monitoring. It is a completely holistic ecosystem. The industry is evolving from an isolated space into a core piece of our daily social and health infrastructure. It's like a giant puzzle, and the gym is becoming the centerpiece. And the generation leading this charge, it might actually surprise you. A staggering 46% of all new gym signups are currently driven by Gen Z. Nearly half of the new consumer base walking through those doors are young adults. This represents a massive, massive demographic shift. The fitness industry is skewing way younger, and these younger consumers are bringing entirely new high-tech expectations with them. The reason behind this Gen Z surge is actually super revealing about our broader society. According to the Fit Insider 2026 Health and Wellness Halftime Report, nearly half of adults under 30 are living without a primary care physician. Let that sink in for a moment. Because they lack a traditional doctor to oversee their baseline health, they're turning to the gym. The modern fitness center is increasingly becoming the essential third place for this generation. So it's acting not just as a social hub to hang out, but as a de facto entry point for health management. Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds. AI and gym expansion. With all these young, data-hungry consumers expecting their gym to act as this high-end health OS, operators have to adapt incredibly fast. I mean, how do you even scale that kind of personalized experience? Let's look at a fascinating real-world case study, EOS Fitness. They're a high-value, low-price, or HVLP giant, and their Q2 2026 growth numbers are just staggering. First off, they launched 9 new gyms, bringing their total footprint to more than 225 locations open or in development. Second, they aren't just building empty boxes. They're making a huge tech push by integrating a system called Gainiac AI. And third, they are totally innovating on the floor itself, announcing they'll be the very first U.S. operator to bring Les Mills reformer Pilates directly to the main gym floor. That Gainiac AI integration is absolutely crucial here. EOS is actually retrofitting their existing clubs with smart strength equipment that automates custom progression mapping for their members. Imagine walking into a gym, and the machines already know exactly where you left off last week, automatically guiding your physical progression. No more guessing weights.
This is exactly how you deliver a high-tech personal health OS experience at scale, even within a very accessible, low-price membership model.
Section 4. Industry Gaps and Divides.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it highlights that this explosive growth isn't without its growing pains. As fast as this sector is expanding, it's hitting a very real ceiling. When we hear about businesses struggling to grow right now, we usually hear about a labor shortage, meaning, there just aren't enough warm bodies to hire. But the International Sports Sciences Association, or ISSA, published their 2026 fitness hiring report, and they found something completely different. The primary hurdle isn't a simple lack of bodies at all. It's what they call a talent readiness gap. Drawing from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and nationwide surveys, the ISSA report highlights this incredibly crucial quote: "Finding new trainers who possess immediate, practical, floor-ready skills remains a major constraint to business expansion." So what does this all mean? Well, the demand for fitness spaces is surging absolutely off the charts, but operators simply cannot find trainers who have the immediate, practical skills needed to just step onto the floor and safely manage this massive new influx of members. The buildings are ready, the AI tech is ready, but the workforce readiness is lagging seriously behind.
And honestly, there is an even more sobering divide taking place outside the gym walls. The American College of Sports Medicine, the ACSM, and the Elevance Health Foundation recently published their 2026 American Fitness Index. This index tracks the overall health metrics of major U.S. cities, and the data shows a pretty stark truth. The gap between America's healthiest cities and its least healthy cities is widening significantly. It's tough to see. As some communities thrive and heavily adopt this new preventative health lifestyle, others are just being left further and further behind.
So the crucial point is that we simply cannot just rely on private gyms to solve a national health crisis. Fitness advocates are actively using this ACSM data to call for a much sharper focus from both the public and private sectors. We really have to look at the structural and social factors that directly shape public health outcomes in our towns. We're talking about investing in community parks, ensuring we have accessible neighborhood spaces, and essentially building environments that naturally encourage physical activity for everyone, regardless of their zip code. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. We've seen how fitness is transforming from a luxury into a multi-billion-dollar necessity. We've seen gyms evolving into these high-tech, preventative health hubs for a whole new, younger generation. But we've also seen the massive gaps in talent and community infrastructure. So I want to leave you with this question to really reflect on today. As fitness becomes a true personal health OS, is your city built to support it? Take a good look around your own neighborhood this week and see how it measures up. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this fascinating structural shift. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.